guys, this is Francie from stillsherises.blog. I'm a grief counselor and I'm a lost mom. I lost my son 4 years ago, just after he was born. And being a grieving person myself and having met a lot of people grieving, I have realized that people can say a lot of things that are well meant, but are quite hurtful and sometimes even quite dumb. So I want to tell you today, I want to give you 7 sentences that we've heard the most. And I want to tell you why they are hurtful, even though they were well meant. And I want to give you a couple of ideas of what you could say instead. So let's go for it. I want to make this as short as possible for you. So first one, time heals all wounds. Wouldn't that be awesome if time had this magic wand and could make grief go away? It doesn't. Time doesn't heal wounds. First of all, it's the actions that we take that might bring us healing up to a certain level. I'm still not sure if there's healing, because grief is like losing someone is not like breaking a bone that could heal. And that comes to the point that some wounds we suffer are not meant to heal. I truly believe that we carry these scars, and these scars are very thin on the surface. So there can be memories or moments that kind of tear it open from one moment to the other, and that wound is open again and hurts. And also, it's kind of putting a bit of a time pressure on the grieving person, because we do know that society doesn't give us a lot of time to grieve. I experienced that they give us just a couple of months and then we should be done grieving. But grieving is not something that you finish, and this is very important to understand. You don't finish grief. You learn to carry your grief and you learn to carry the pain, but that takes time. And time heals all wounds is also oftentimes just way too early. Like, a grieving person can't imagine that there's healing one day, and it's just the wrong time to mention it. So don't say that, please. Next one, he or she is in a better place now. Yeah, yes, no, it's just, we do know that our person is in a better place. Hopefully most of us do believe that they are somewhere and that they are good, and that also adds into this, he doesn't have to suffer anymore. Yes, we do know that, and hopefully we do know that and we believe in that. But if he's in another place, that means he's not here, and that is the issue. Our person that we love so much is not here. So it is comforting knowing that hopefully they are in a good place now and they're not suffering anymore. But that means they are not here, and that hurts. And that is the biggest problem of all, that we just miss them. So that sentence is somehow comforting, but it takes away from the point, or from the fact that they are not here. And also with that suffering, it is comforting to know that even if someone had cancer for some time, or depression and committed suicide, that their suffering has ended. Yes, it's true, but that doesn't take away my pain from having lost them. So don't say that. It's not a good sentence. Next one, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that some things in life don't need a reason. They are flat out senseless. And I can say that even with the 4 years distance of my loss. And I can tell you, like, today I'm doing really good. Like, my journey has been amazing, even though it was so painful. And I have found a lot of sense and meaning in my life and what I have learned from my loss. But the loss of my son, his death, is still senseless. I still feel it is so senseless. And it can be both, you know? It's like two different things. Like, my purpose in life, my meaning or my reason I found I found because he died, and I'm grateful for that. But to be honest, I would rather have my son instead of all these great experiences. So we don't always need reasons. And even for a person that is fresh in grief, reason is so far away. Don't mention it. It's the wrong time, wrong place. Try again in a couple of years, maybe. Carefully. So next one, you have to be strong now. Maybe for the children that you have, or for your partner, whoever. It's a sentence we hear a lot, but that would mean grief is a weakness, and it isn't. We don't need to be strong. We know we have that pressure, we have to be strong. I had that. I had a sibling. I had my son here, and I knew I had to be strong for him, but that was such a pressure on me, because the only thing I wanted was staying in bed, doing nothing, just being a sobby mess. And knowing that I had to function for my child was so hard. And the other part is like, grief is not a weakness. It is okay to be weak. It is okay to cry. It is okay to break down. Please don't tell someone who's grieving they have to be strong. They don't have to. They can be weak. It's okay. The next one is, I know how you feel. Last year my hamster died. No, you don't know how that grieving person feels. Maybe you have suffered loss yourself, but every loss is different and every person grieves differently. This moment that someone is sharing their story with you is not the moment that you share your story. Hold back with your experiences and give the room to the person's experience and to the person's pain, knowing that you don't know how that person feels. You don't. Everyone is different. And another one, which comes in a variety of sentences, but they all start with at least. I heard that, my husband heard that sentence, and it's still so absurd. Someone told him at least he died just after birth and not a couple of months later. And like, what? Why does it make it better? I wouldn't say, thank God that child at the age of 6 and not 9. That would have been worse. Or thank God my partner died at the age of 36 instead of 39. That just doesn't make sense. But apart from that, anything starting with at least is not good. There is no at least. There is no at least he's not suffering anymore. There is no at least you can get pregnant again. Typical sentence for pregnancy loss families. There is no such thing as at least. Please scratch at least. It's not good. And also, if you meet someone who has lost a child, like in pregnancy, don't tell them they could get pregnant again. It is wrong on a lot of levels, because you don't know how hard they struggled maybe to get pregnant. And that child, maybe a future child, a rainbow child, can never replace the child we've lost. And it shouldn't. It's a different child. It doesn't fill that gap. That hole in my heart will always gape, even though I have 2 living children. It's just wrong. Don't say that, please. Don't tell someone they could get pregnant again. You wouldn't also tell someone who lost their mom, just go out and get a new one. You wouldn't, would you? It's wrong. Don't say it. So now you've heard quite a few sentences you shouldn't say, you should scratch. And I want to give you a couple of things that you could say. First of all, be honest. If you don't know what to say, say it. Go to that person and say, I'm so sorry for your loss. I don't know what to say. I would love to say something that would help you, but I don't know what. That is honest and that is okay. I remember when I was in fresh grief, I didn't know what to say. So if someone came to me and said, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to say, I was like, yeah, I know, I have the same. I don't know what to say. I'm at loss for words. So it's okay to be absolutely honest. That's the best thing you can do. Instead of saying something bad or hurtful, just say you don't know. And it's even better than saying nothing. This is something I forgot on my list. Just don't say nothing, don't ignore. Don't walk past a person who's grieving or turn around on the street and go the other direction. I've had that. It's rude. It's just, it makes that person feel even lonelier than they already feel. So if you don't know what to say and you're scared, just say it. Be honest. And then there's something that we all have in us, like if someone is uncomfortable, if someone is suffering, we as a first thing try to say something comforting or to make it go away, that bad feeling, to make it better. I want you to know that this is not necessary. You don't need to give advice. You don't need to make that person feel better. It is not needed. Because what it does is it takes away that feeling that is there. And that feeling that is there, the sadness, the anger, the jealousy, the desperation, are all valid feelings, and they need a space to be expressed. So the best thing you can do is just sit with that person, validate their feeling, tell them, I can only imagine how hard it is, and just give them the space, hold the space, even though it's a very difficult emotion and maybe it's even hard for you. But you have maybe just this moment that you might feel that pain. That person you're comforting is living with that pain, like every day for a long, long time until the end of their lives. So just be empathetic, sit with them, hold the space, and make room for that emotion that is there. No silver lining, no advice. Just open your heart wide and be there. And the last thing I want to tell you is also, because a lot of people would have told me like, if you need something, call me. And I can tell you, this is so hard because first of all, I never knew what I needed. I couldn't express that. I didn't even know myself what I needed. And second, it is so hard to take that phone and call someone and ask for help. So what you could do is, in this brain fog that the grieving person has, that person needs precise things. You know, like give me a call when you need something is not precise. But you could tell that person like, look, on Wednesday, I would like to cook you dinner. Is that okay? It gives that person, that grieving person, the option to say yes or no. And it gives them a clear date and time and what. So it's precise and they can decide if they want this or not. Or you could say, tomorrow for lunch, I'll take you out for a walk so that you can get out of the house if you want to. I would love to do that for you. And I would love to listen to what you feel. So that person, that grieving person could decide themselves, do I want that or not? So don't be offended when they say no. It's not meant offending. It's just maybe the wrong time. And I don't want you to give up on asking and checking in on them, because it's usually after a couple of weeks, days, maybe after 2-3 weeks, the support system or the support that the grieving person received is fading out. And that is really hard, because after 2-3 weeks, when that brain fog and that shock and trauma slowly sets down, is settling, that's when the real pain comes through. And that's where even more support is needed. So don't only offer your support in the first days, keep offering it, even maybe months later. Just go and check in on them. Ask them, how are you today? How are you feeling today? Do you want to talk? Can I go for a walk with you? Or even if they have kids, for example, like I had my son, my neighbor came and asked, can I take out your kid to the playground to give you some space? Thank you. Yes, that is an amazing offer, just to give me a moment to breathe and cry and not to be so strong for my child. So these are all very practical things to offer. Or offer to clean the house. You know, tell them like, look, it must be so hard for you to plan the funeral and all these other things and all these emotions. Can I help you in the house? Can I clean, or can I hoover or do your washing? Whatever. Just offer precise help. So, my advice for you, that was it. Thank you for listening in to these almost 15 minutes. I'm sorry it took a bit longer, but I could have talked even more. If you have any questions, you can drop a comment down there. Just ask. I'm here, feel free. And if there's anything else you want to share, just go ahead. I'm happy to hear from you. Bye-bye.